One moment of silence can be the prelude to a lifetime of noise. On a cool evening in India's capital, a sound erupted that was heard not just in Delhi, but across the world, instantly turning an ordinary Monday into a marker of fear. The iconic walls of the Lal Quila, the Red Fort, have watched over history for centuries. But on this day, history reached out and struck them, leaving behind a plume of smoke and a chilling question. Was this the climax of a plot or the beginning of a larger campaign? Context in one breath. This is the story of the alleged bomb blast near the Lal Quila in Delhi, India on November 10, 2025. It began around 6:52 p.m. IST when a white Hyundai i20 car moving through rush hour traffic near the metro station detonated with massive force. Source: Delhi Police, November 11, 2025. The incident resulted in the tragic loss of 13 civilian lives and left over 20 injured, immediately drawing the attention of the National Investigation Agency, NIA, and the world media. Source: NDMA Report, November 12, 2025. This event matters now because the subsequent investigation revealed not a lone act, but a sophisticated, multi-state terror module, allegedly planning coordinated attacks across the country, turning a single explosion into a national security crisis. Timeline of key events. The sequence of events leading up to the blast is critical to understanding the investigation. The day started routinely, but according to police reports, it began unraveling in the hours before the explosion when intelligence agencies confirmed the arrests of two key individuals in Haryana. Source: NIA Briefing, November 11, 2025. These arrests involving Dr. Muzammil Ghanai and Dr. Adil Majid allegedly caused a critical shift in the broader terror plot. Source: Investigative Summary, November 14, 2025. Visual map animation with route. The white Hyundai i20, driven by the eventual suicide bomber, Dr. Umar Nabi, was tracked circling Connaught Place earlier in the day and then reportedly parking for several hours near the Sunehri Masjid. Source: CCTV Review, November 11, 2025. Question: what would you notice first? At 6:52 p.m., the vehicle detonated while near gate number 1 of the Red Fort metro station, killing the driver and 12 others caught in the blast and resulting fire. Lower third, final casualty count: 13 dead, 20 plus injured. The timing of this detonation, mere hours after the arrests of his associates, led investigators to believe Dr. Nabi may have panicked, choosing to trigger the device prematurely to avoid capture. Source: Police Interrogation Summary, November 13, 2025. This single explosion, tragically destructive, was allegedly a desperate last-minute activation of a much wider operation that was originally scheduled to be a coordinated series of attacks across multiple cities between November 8th and 12th. Document recovered digital notes. Evidence and verification. Initial evidence presented the bomber as an educated professional, immediately raising alarms about the nature of the module. The remains of the driver were confirmed through DNA matching with his family, identifying him as Dr. Umar Nabi from Pulwama, Kashmir. Source: FSL Report, November 11, 2025. Investigators confirmed the vehicle was packed with high-grade explosives, consistent with an ANFO, ammonium nitrate fuel oil mixture, though the exact quantity remains subject to detailed analysis. Document Bomb Disposal Unit Field Report. The most alarming piece of evidence came from the arrests in Haryana, where police allege they recovered over 2,900 kilograms of the same explosive material from premises linked to the Al Falah University. Source: NIA press release, November 12, 2025. According to reports, the module was a white-collar terror module, utilizing professionals to facilitate their operations and procurement. Source: Intelligence Bureau, November 13, 2025. Recovered digital devices and coded messages allegedly pointed to financial backing and direction from handlers based outside of India, specifically mentioning contacts in Turkey and Afghanistan. Footage: interrogation video stills. The alleged terror groups involved were named as Jaish-e-Mohammed, GM, and Ansar Ghazwat-ul-Hind, AGH, indicating a sophisticated international network. Source: Indian media, citing intelligence officials. The suspects allegedly raised approximately 20 lakh rupees in cash, supporting the claim of a large, well-financed operation. Conflicting views and gaps. While the official narrative confirms a terror attack linked to the arrested doctors, several questions and conflicting views remain in the public sphere. Some local reports initially speculated the explosion could have been an accidental gas cylinder rupture, an explanation quickly dismissed by the sheer scale of the blast and the subsequent explosive discoveries. Source: local news reports, November 10, 2025. A major point of dispute involves the precise role of the Al Falah University, with some student groups and university administration denying any knowledge of the module's activities, asserting that the accused doctors merely used the campus vicinity for storage without their consent. Source: University Statement, November 13, 2025. Infocard: what we know versus unconfirmed. Furthermore, the full chain of command linking the local module to handlers in Turkey and Afghanistan remains largely alleged and unproven in court, relying heavily on the interpretation of coded digital evidence. Document: Digital Forensics Report. No definitive public statement has been released detailing the exact moment or reason why Dr. Nabi would choose to panic and detonate the device so far from his alleged larger target, leaving a gap in the motivation of the final act. Source: Police Interrogation Summary, November 13, 2025. The legal process will determine the veracity of these claims. Human impact. The impact of the blast, though tragically confined to a small area, reverberated across the city. 13 lives were taken, people going home from work, vendors, and ordinary citizens, whose passing left a void in families and communities. The trauma extends to the more than 20 survivors who endured severe injuries and now face long roads to physical and emotional recovery. This event challenged the sense of security in the capital, proving that vulnerability exists even next to monuments of national pride. The human element of this story is the profound, shared grief of a community reminded of the fragility of peace and the quiet dignity of those who offered aid in the immediate chaotic moments. Expert lens: why it matters. This incident is more than a crime. It is a significant development in the study of modern security threats. The alleged involvement of educated professionals signals a worrisome evolution in terror recruitment, shifting from recruiting marginalized individuals to targeting the white-collar and technically skilled. Sidebar: radicalization, the process of adopting extreme views. This mirrors a global trend where terror groups seek out skills necessary for modern logistics and planning, using educational institutions as a cover, making the threat harder to detect. The huge cache of 2,900 kilograms of explosives serves as a powerful metaphor. It represents the scale of the destruction that was averted, suggesting the nation dodged a catastrophe far larger than what occurred at the Red Fort. This incident will undoubtedly lead to a complete overhaul of security protocols in public spaces and within educational institutions across India. Mini recap. So what do we know? We know a white car exploded near the Red Fort on November 10th, resulting in 13 deaths. We know the driver was allegedly Dr. Umar Nabi, and that his action followed the arrest of 2 associates. What remains unclear is the precise identity of the international handlers and the full extent of the module's operational funding. This complex network, however, was exposed just in time. What's next? Scenarios. The immediate next step will be the formal charging of Dr. Muzammil Ghanai and Dr. Adil Majid, rather under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act (UAPA), which is a high-confidence scenario. A medium-confidence scenario is the government ordering an extensive, high-level forensic audit of the Al Falah University and other institutions where the suspects had links. A low-confidence but high-impact scenario is the successful apprehension or confirmed identity of the alleged overseas JM and AGH handlers, which relies on deep international cooperation and intelligence sharing, OTRO and CTA. The story of the Lal Quila blast is a reminder of the vigilance required to maintain peace and the complex, often hidden, threats faced by modern societies. Our commitment is to follow the facts wherever they lead. Source notes and disclaimer. All information in this documentary is based on official statements, police reports, intelligence briefings, and media reporting available between November 10th, 2025 and November 14th, 2025. Allegations regarding individuals, motives, and foreign groups remain unproven in a court of law and are presented as reported by official agencies. We maintain strict neutrality and condemn all acts of violence and terror.